Welcome to Farming with Basic Science, a predictable way to farm and improve crop efficiencies using the Maximum Farming System. This week we hear from Maximum Farming dealers who share their experiences of working with farmers who've made improvements to their production using the principles of basic science.
I think a lot of it is helping the farmer become more efficient in their farming operation. Understanding the needs that farmers need in their operations, finding out what those needs are, and then be able to sit down with them and go through a process that we've been taught here at Ag Spectrum to work them through. The efficiencies of our system, the inefficiencies of the commercial system, and how much better we think in the long run we can make their soils and their operation.
The biggest thing that stands out with Ag Spectrum Company over any other company that I've worked with, and I've been on the technology side a few years ago and just seen other companies, the thing that really stands out to me and that I love is that this company has a passion for respecting the farmer. And the information that we can provide to them on a basic science level is so far beyond what any other company is offering right now. And that level of leadership is what can set you apart as a dealer.
When you apply that system and you got gypsum in place and you got the Grozyme in place and you've got your starter in place and the nitrogen where it belongs. And then I always like to walk a field with a guy, and I said, just remember what this feels like on your heel as we walk. I said, we're going to come back to that sometime. And when we do that step right there, 2 years, 3 years, where things are really starting to change, and I said, do you remember when we walked and our heel would not go in the ground, and now it's sinking as we walk? He says, it's softer. There's a difference. I am seeing the change. I can feel the change. That's first, because it has to be something they can feel. They can see it, but that's when the light comes on, I think.
What set me on this system was the components of how they put the system together. I was always the piecemeal guy. Let's try this piece, let's try this piece, let's try this piece, and let's try and piece it together. I think half the time when I was doing that, I was probably hurting myself because there was no synergy in the components. With this system, we've got the synergy. We know what the commercial fertilizer that we have to put with our components and how well they fit together. And that's the biggest thing that sold me on it. And then that's what, if we get the associates to understand that, that's how they sell to the farmers and get the farmers to buy into this program.
Grower called, he was pretty apprehensive about growing pulse crops, and the pulse crop was chickpeas. And in that part of Montana, we're being pummeled with ascochyta, fungal disease, and it's just, however, all these neighbors have got the disease, and he doesn't. His plants are healthy and good, and he's had several consultants and agronomists come out and look at his fields, wondering what fungicide he's put on, and he hasn't put on any fungicide, and it's all because his plants are healthy. Yeah, maybe there's a lower spot on a plant where there is some disease, but it's not spreading because of the healthy plant.
We're doing ourselves and the grower an injustice by not helping them do the whole system. And if you don't do the whole system, yeah, maybe in certain years, it's just like a conventional system. In certain years, if you get the right weather, the right timing of weather, you can have great crops. You have great crops on a system that isn't a true system of maximum farming. But it's those little stresses that come through at certain times, and we have them all the time. We don't know when they're coming, how they're coming, and it's that system is where that benefit comes from, and that's where the profitability to the farmer comes from. And we'd be leaving money on their table if they didn't follow that system year in and year out. And you don't know when that's going to happen.
The system works. I mean, that is, and of course somebody, everybody's going to tell you that their system works. But when you understand, when the system is presented to a grower in a good fashion, which, through all of our management support can do that very well. If I can't do it already myself, the system makes sense to anybody that's been farming longer than 6 days.